You know, guys, sometimes we disagree with politicians because of the things they say or the things that they do. And sometimes we, as average South Africans, we debate about the policies of different political parties, and we even argue about which political party is better. But some politicians are actually dangerous, and this is one thing that we as South Africans should be aware of. You know, yesterday I was watching an interview of DJ's Boo when he was having a conversation with Advocate Dali, and it actually reminded me of what Jacob Zuma said a while ago. And I still cannot believe that a senior citizen, the former president of this country, and a leader of a political party that is an official opposition party in this country can actually come out and say something so ridiculous, something so dangerous, and there is no outrage about that. It is so insane how politicians can actually go out and utter some of the most dangerous statements, and there is no outrage about that, simply because these people, they have fan base, if I can put it that way. I don't know if you guys still remember, but Jacob Zuma, at one of his rallies, he once said that the MK party would not allow teenage pregnancy to occur. Should it happen, young girls would be essentially exiled to Robben Island to complete their school education. The girls would be separated from their communities. According to the law, a child should not give a birth to a child. That is not life, it is a disease, and we will end it. This is what the former president of the country is actually going out to the people and saying. To say that we are not going to allow teenage pregnancy to occur. Should it happen, young girls would be essentially exiled to Robben Island to complete their education. The girls would be separated from their communities. And according to the law, a child should not give a birth to a child. That is not life, it is a disease. We will end it. This is how Jacob Zuma feels about a teenage pregnancy. And I'm happy. I'm happy that DJ's Boo, when he was speaking with Advocate Dali Mpofu, he actually raised this point to try to understand what is the party's position on this thing that Jacob Zuma has actually said. Because I don't remember many MK members actually coming out to say that as much as we love the party, but we do not agree.
Former president.
As much as we love the party, but we do not agree with the utterances of the president. Guys, you know, this is why the ANC, when it comes to freedom of speech, the ANC is number one. Because if the president of the ANC comes out and says something that the branches of the ANC disagree with, they are not shy to come out to say that we distance ourselves from the utterances of the president. But in the MK party, people can just stand there and listen to Jacob Zuma saying that should teenage pregnancy happen, we will exile the girls to Robben Island, and these girls would be separated from the communities. And there is no outrage about such a dangerous statement. So I'm happy that in this conversation, this is something that DJ's Boo has actually asked the Advocate Dali Mpofu to try to understand the party's position on this matter. And this is how Advocate Dali Mpofu actually reacted to this statement.
Former president Jacob Zuma, he did express his views. I think I forgot which exact rally it was.
Right.
But and some of those views were seen by many as anti-progressive or anti-revolutionary. And one of them were pregnant teenage girls should be sent to Robben Island. And it described the same-sex relationships as a disgrace, promising that the MK would repeal the legalization of the same-sex relationships and marriages. Now, what I want to know is, do you share the views expressed by the president, Jacob Zuma, and what does that mean to the South African society right now who fall into the LGBTQI community and people that you as the MK are trying to attract to join the organization?
As I said to you earlier, no, the short answer is no, I don't share those views. But again, political movements are about the common ground. So the question is, you and I might have different views about more fire, whether it should be in a big thing or a smaller package and so on. So I might differ with you on those, but if the common ground between us is sufficient for us to push the project, then that should be enough. As I always quote Dumisani Makaya, the late Dumisani Makaya, of former ANC wise person, who said, if you agree with 70% of whatever an organization says, you must stay.
And before Advocate Dali Mpofu finishes off his thoughts, did you realize that Advocate Dali Mpofu simply said, no, I disagree with that, and pivoted to, in political parties we can actually disagree, but he is not addressing these things that were actually said by Jacob Zuma. Because when Jacob Zuma says that we are going to exile teenage girls to Robben Island, and these girls would be separated from their communities, he says nothing about the people that are impregnating these young girls. Because I think DJ Boo should have kept Advocate Dali Mpofu on that thing to say that, what is Jacob Zuma saying about the people that are impregnating these young girls? And if you are going to exile these young girls to Robben Island, what is going to happen with their babies? These are things that Advocate Dali Mpofu, as a representative of the MK party, should actually be forced to answer, because we know that Jacob Zuma is not going to answer these things, because I don't think that he thought that much. Because you are going to punish the girls for actually being impregnated, and you are going to punish the young girls, and you are not even going to consider the fact that some of these young girls that are impregnated, they are impregnated by people that are way older than them. They are impregnated by people that are way older than them. We can even argue that most of these young girls that were impregnated at a very young age, they were actually raped. If we look at the laws of this country, most of these girls, they were actually raped. So what do you say about that? And what is going to be the punishment of the people that are impregnating these young girls? Because if you are going to come out and say that we are going to exile these young girls to Robben Island and we are going to separate them from their communities, you should also have a punishment for the people that are impregnating these young girls. But it looks like Jacob Zuma is only targeting young girls. He's only targeting young girls, which actually makes this whole thing very disgusting. He's only targeting young girls. So what is going to happen with the babies? What is going to happen with the people that actually have impregnated these young girls? What is going to happen to those? I mean, like, his eagerness to say that we are going to punish young girls. Why are you so quick to punish young girls when you are not going to discuss what is going to happen holistically? And this is a president of the MK party. And as much as the MK party has supporters, I understand, yeah, they are the supporters of the MK party. They love their political party. But are you telling me that none of these people are actually disgusted by some of these remarks? Are you telling me that there is no one from the MK party who is going to say that, as much as I love the MK party, but these remarks, no, I'm distancing myself from it? Like, people like Advocate Dali Mpofu, they have to be brought to the podcast so that they can answer these things. These are not the things that they say themselves, to say that, no, we are distancing ourselves from the position of Jacob Zuma. Or is this an official position of the MK party? Is this the official position of the MK party? Hence, the people like Floyd Chivambu, Advocate Dali Mpofu are not coming out to say that, no, this is not what the party stands for. This is not what the party stands for. And if you are an MK supporter, What do you think about the utterances of your president? What do you think about that? Man, it is so disgusting, man. It is so shocking. It is so shocking that a senior citizen would actually come out and say something like that. It is so shocking.
Because you're never going to find. It's the same with
A relationship.
relationships. Yeah, if you agree with 70% of what's happening in the marriage, stay. But if you are looking for 100%, where you must say we like exactly the same movies and all that, that's never going to happen. So that's the broad answer. The question is this: what is an organization? An organization is a place to debate these issues. So if I would be in a meeting or policy meeting of MK, and former President Zuma stands up and says pregnant girls must be taken to Robben Island, I will stand up and say, no, that should not happen. And then.
So the question is, have you confronted Jacob Zuma about these things that he says, or you are waiting for the policy meeting? You are waiting for the policy meeting so that you can say to Jacob Zuma that you disagree with these utterances. Have you gone to Jacob Zuma to say that, man, I heard at a rally you said that you are going to exile young girls to Robben Island, and you are going to separate these young girls from their communities, and at the same time you said nothing about the people that have actually impregnated these young girls, and some of these young girls have actually been raped. This is the reason why they actually conceived children at such a young age, because most of them, they cannot even give consent, because people who are older than them, they actually take advantage of them. So we cannot say that a 16-year-old girl actually gave consent. Have you gone to Jacob Zuma to actually say that these utterances that you made are actually disgusting, or you are waiting for the policy meeting? You are waiting for the policy meeting. And of course, your constitution says that Jacob Zuma is the supreme leader. His word is the last word. So even if you disagree with Jacob Zuma, but if he says that this is a party position, what are you going to say? Because the constitution of Jacob Zuma, it is just a pamphlet that actually empowers Jacob Zuma. It is not a constitution. It is just a leaflet that actually empowers Jacob Zuma. So what are you going to say if he says that, no, this is the party's position? What are you going to say?
President Zuma stands up and says pregnant girls must be taken to Robben Island, I will stand up and say, no, that should not happen. And then the MK will then take a decision on that. If ultimately, so in other words, you can't go by the pronouncements of individuals, however prominent those individuals are. The question is what?
No, but not when it comes to Jacob Zuma and the MK party. Like, it's totally different. It's totally different. What Jacob Zuma says as the president of the MK party, it holds a lot of weight. You cannot treat Jacob Zuma just like an average MK party member. No, he's not just an average MK party member. This guy is the president of the MK party, and whatever that he says, it holds a lot of weight. So you cannot pretend like Jacob Zuma is just an average MK party member who is going around and saying nonsensical things. No. It is totally different. Right now, we are talking about a leader of a political party that goes around telling South Africans that teenage girls will be exiled to Robben Island. So if you are a parent, okay, let's say that you are a parent, you support the MK party, you have children, and one of your teenage girls happen to be pregnant at a very young age. How would you feel if the president of the MK party says that, oh, no, we are taking this girl and we are exiling her to Robben Island? We are not going to question who impregnated this young girl. We are not going to question the age of the person who actually impregnated this young girl. So we are not even going to say anything about what is going to happen with a person that impregnated this young girl. But what we know is that we are going to take your child away from you simply because she was impregnated somewhere outside, possibly raped because she cannot give consent. How are you going to feel as a supporter of the MK party if the same thing would happen to you and the MK party would come and take your child away from you? Instead of just saying that, guys, this girl is 16-year-old. She was raped. She cannot give consent. We have to look at the person who actually impregnated this girl. And if this person is over the age, then this person has raped this young girl. So we must take this person to jail. This person should go to jail for rape But no, this is not how you guys there in KZN and MK party actually see things. You say you think it is okay for the president of the party to actually say these things, and you guys are not even opposing him. You have to be forced in a podcast, and you are giving long answers and not even addressing the matters that he is speaking about. Amazing.
What position the organization will ultimately adopt on any disputed issue. And if the organization takes a position that is totally contrary to your belief systems, then it's time to go. I mean, and hopefully not be insulted for it.
Yes, sir.
So once an organization, rightly or wrongly, takes a position, whether it's about pregnant girls or about unity of Africans, that is reactionary, then you must try to influence that. And if you think that you can't, then you must leave. Even if leaving.
So what if Jacob Zuma says that, okay, this is the party's position and I actually believe in these things? Are you going to tell Jacob Zuma to leave, to go? Are you going to tell him to go? I mean, you know, guys, this is why sometimes when I'm watching these interviews, I would get so furious because the people that are interviewing some of these people are not there and asking relevant questions. Because the statement that Dali Mpofu has made, you already have like 1,000 questions you can ask on that. And the first thing that you should actually do is to make Advocate Dali Mpofu acknowledge how pathetic and dangerous and disgusting that statement of Jacob Zuma is. Not just allowing him to say that, no, okay, and pivot to saying that in the political parties we disagree. No, make him actually acknowledge that that statement is disgusting and it is not something that actually should be said by a senior citizen, the former president of the country, and a leader of an official political party in the country. Why are you not actually holding his feet to the fire? You are sitting there and allowing Advocate Dali Mpofu to say that if you are in the MK party and you have a certain belief and the party actually disagrees with this belief of yours and takes a different position, then you must go. Why are you not asking that if this is a belief that is being posed by Jacob Zuma, are you going to tell Jacob Zuma to go? Yes or no? Like these people that are making this, that are doing these interviews, they are not asking relevant questions. They are not asking relevant questions. I think they are just thinking about the views. Yeah, I'm sitting with Advocate Dali Mpofu, so I know as soon as I upload this video, it is going to go up because I'm having a conversation with Advocate Dali Mpofu. But these people are actually not asking these politicians any relevant questions. They're not asking them any relevant questions. Man. It is insane. This is total madness. This is madness that actually should be condemned. It should be condemned. It should be condemned. And this just shows you how dangerous the MK party is. This just shows you how dangerous the MK party is. This is not the first statement that the MK party has actually came out and make, and that is very dangerous. This just shows you how dangerous the MK party is. So even these people that are well educated, they are actually led by someone who goes around telling that he is going to exile teenage girls and exile them to Robben Island. And he is going to separate these young girls from their families and from their communities. And he is not saying anything about the people that will be going around and impregnating these young girls. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. This is not political rhetoric. I know that when Julius Malema lies, he normally says that, no, this is political rhetoric. You remember when Julius Malema lied about Dr. Naledi Pandor and said that Dr. Naledi Pandor was a recipient of VBS money. And Dr. Naledi Pandor sent the lawyers to Julius Malema, and the guy came out instead of just being a man and acknowledging that I said something wrong about Dr. Naledi Pandor. He said that, no, this is political speech. This is not political speech. This is not political speech. This is dangerous rhetoric. This is dangerous rhetoric. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.